Hello everybody, this is Skydiving Ferret here, and I'm coming to you with some USA GeoGuessr Duels action. I wanted to film and upload some videos earlier in the season, but it was tough filming live for me, and I ended up not doing it. But better late than never. I did film these, and I'm gonna just provide some commentary after. So as you can see, we are right at the last week of the Duels League, and I went into these matches 8-6 and right in 12th place, but not by a lot. Ryan Scott was right behind me, and he held the tiebreaker over me. So this is very close. I definitely could have missed the playoffs very easily. This is a really stressful week for me. So hopefully this will be some pretty exciting action for everyone. And yeah, so let's hop right in. Okay, so my first duel was against Kawi here, and this is on balanced US counties, which I had practiced quite a bit earlier on, and it's a very rural round. I mean, you are getting rounds in the middle of nowhere, and I decided to choose this one. Kawi is one of the better players, right at the top of the standings, and I kind of just figured if get a couple lucky rounds that go my way, Balanced US Counties would be the perfect map for me. But as it turned out, this played right into a skill set. But let's get right in. So first round here. Cool. So yeah, this is a very rural round here. Kind of had a few like Appalachian or Northeast kind of Vermont maybe thoughts to it. But yeah, my mind was going way more to Appalachian, and especially with the lack of front plate on that car there, I was thinking West Virginia, and I went locked that in. I went a little bit eastern West Virginia. It seemed closer there. Probably should have stuck with the Central a little more, but that's all right. Only a couple hundred points there, so still definitely in it. But yeah, Kawi ended up very close to there, so he came ahead here. He came ahead there. This round, kind of generic, like middle country. I was thinking like Kansas, Nebraska, maybe. It is a little bit hilly, nothing crazy. So yeah, so I ended up thinking South Dakota, just from the more hilly aspect of it, and it seemed a little bit too much of dead grass for Nebraska. So went with South Dakota there and ended up a little bit closer than him. So pretty happy with that. So next round in here, very conflicted here. A lot of areas this could have been. I was thinking Tennessee, Kentucky is one like really good option. Just very hilly and open. Pretty large houses nearby. Fiber optic not going to help me there. Yeah, no signs helping here. It was one option. Like it, I was thinking in the back of my head, I was thinking it could be Northeast something, but the larger houses and kind of more open area, I think lent me towards Tennessee, Kentucky. So yeah, I did end up going Eastern Kentucky, just felt very Appalachian Mountain. Ended up being New York. I was pretty surprised by that. Definitely was in the back of my mind, could have been Northeast, but really wasn't sure. So that was a tough one for me. Could have estimated that better, but all right, so on to round 4. Pretty open area, no front plate on that car. Like way more reddish southern feel to it, and I've been struggling a lot with southern roulette, and in my practice that was really tough for me. I'll guess Georgia ends up being Mississippi, and I decided to hedge middle Alabama. Ended up being Arkansas. I was really shocked by that. I did not think it was that far west, so that one put me back quite a bit. Getting a decent chunk of points taken off of me so far. So yeah, not loving it so far, but cool. So next round, open field again, a little bit hilly, some more yellower crops. Maybe, I don't know crops very well. I'm not even gonna guess. But cornfield. That's definitely cornfield. So thinking Illinois, Indiana, like vaguely Midwest. I end up going with Iowa. That's right. Yeah, so that ended up being Minnesota. I was pretty shocked by that. My mind was definitely set in Illinois, but just wanted to kind of hedge with Iowa there. He ended up a lot closer in Iowa to me. So yeah, but cool. So this round, very confusing to me. I had no clue what to think here. I mean, really open, kind of like long driveway to a large house. Um, in hindsight, this does make more sense now, but I mean, my brain was going all over. I was thinking anywhere from Michigan to Mississippi, even to like Florida could be. And I think I ended up with North Carolina, maybe. I forgot what I guessed here, but yeah, North Carolina like definitely crossed my mind. Ohio definitely crossed my mind. Really, a lot of different options here. We ended up taking quite a while in this round. This is definitely the longest one. He wasn't even totally sure where it would be. So, I was looking back down Mississippi, Alabama, but it seemed a little bit too green for that. So end up shying away from that. Nothing helpful in the distance. Just a real brutal one. Open field here. In hindsight, I'm pretty sure this ended up being... Actually, I don't remember, but definitely in hindsight, it looks more mid-Atlantic. The houses look way more mid-Atlantic than I thought at first. And yeah, so I ended up going Georgia. I hovered North Carolina for a second. I ended up going Ohio, I'm pretty sure. I was really confused here. My mouse was hovering over North Carolina, and it ended up being like Virginia, but close to North Carolina. So he ended up besting me there. He went for Delaware. And yeah, he edged me out on that last one. So pretty tough one there. It was a really tricky round. I was in between a lot of different things. I really should have stuck with North Carolina. That was on my mind a little bit, but hey, I'm still in it at that point. I was 8-7, so still a chance to make the playoffs. So gotta be confident, and let's move on to the next game. Alrighty, so this next game was against Partee on Intersection Guesser, and I hadn't played too much Intersection Guesser before, so wasn't super confident. He was the home matchup, so he picked this, but we'll see how this goes. Let's hop right in. Okay, cool. So round one here, very much more of a Western feel to it. Nice to get an actual Western location after the first round, after the first matchup. I was looking at those signs, couldn't find anything definitive. Sandy Valley, but I was looking around with the trees we have in the mountains, very much a California look to it. I was thinking somewhere maybe east of the mountains in LA, something like that. Sandy Valley, was just looking for it. Plenty of valleys, like valley towns in California, so I was really looking for them. Early on, Nevada did cross my mind, but I kind of dismissed it quickly, and I was thinking more California, and you'll see in a bit, this was very frustrating. But yeah, I was looking for Sandy Valley. There's Shelter Valley there. There's all these different all these different Lucerne Valley. I was really thinking it had to be one of them. I end up looking a little bit too far north. It definitely shouldn't be near Bakersfield. And oh my god, it's right there now looking at it again. But yeah, Sandy Valley is a border town right by Nevada, California. Just did not notice it in time. So pretty annoyed about that. I really had the feel absolutely knocked, and I should have gotten it. And Partee ended up really far in Salt Lake City. So I was pretty annoyed about that. Definitely should have checked Nevada a little bit, and I probably would have gotten that if I looked over there. But that's all right. So moving on to round two, still took a bit of a lead. Getting kind of like a mid-Atlantic feel to it, but I did notice that plate. Should be a New Hampshire plate with either New Jersey or New York next to it. Was a little bit confusing, but was definitely thinking New Hampshire after seeing all these plates. A very much northeast feel to it, with the different houses and stuff. So went for... I went way too far south here. I was thinking it could be a Massachusetts with the different plates. Probably should have hedged closer to Manchester, and that's exactly what he did. Ended up being Concord, so all good. 100-point difference. Not gonna end the game off that. So, yep, on to round three. this ends up being, yeah, so I was seeing Fairfax, which took my mind to Virginia right away, but that just seems so off. Nothing here screamed Fairfax County, Virginia. So my mind went off that. It's just, this is a weird one. Seemed vaguely Missouri, vaguely Arkansas. Could be like a Mississippi, just very like Delta region, with the grass color, with the slight hill over here. A lot of front plates, which definitely threw me off a little bit. I think I ended up going Missouri because of the front plates. Ended up being Oklahoma, which was a little bit surprising to me. I could see it now, but I ended up a little bit closer to him, so nothing terrible. He went Illinois there. So yeah, let's move on to round 4. I definitely could have played a cleaner game here. I'm already kind of feeling it, watching it back, but cool. So this one, another Western one. I was a little bit stuck here between like New Mexico. It could have been New Mexico. I definitely could see this as that. And like a California, could even be Oregon. Definitely like a couple different states with a couple different clues pointing different directions. The houses were definitely throwing me off too. That definitely should have implied not New Mexico based on the houses, but yeah, this is a tricky one. I was really between a couple different areas. So I was hovering New Mexico, ended up clicking there. Partee guessed. He doesn't seem to know where it is either, though. Yeah, this was kind of tough to watch back. Ended up being Utah, which I could definitely see from kind of the slight southwest vibe without any of the houses looking like it. So yeah, that ended up being Utah, but that's all right. Moving on to round 5. Kind of like the houses were definitely throwing me off here. I was a little bit confused by them. But that open field kind of made me think this could be like a New Jersey, Delaware kind of area. So I was kind of thinking that, and the houses are very tall. Not tall, but like the houses are very built up. So I was thinking like a New Jersey, Delaware. Ended up plonking a Maryland side a little bit, but closer to the top of Delaware. But that's fine. Ended up pretty close. Beat him out by 150 points there. No harm there. So anyway, moving on to the next round, we get a very foresty kind of road with not too much info here. Yeah, definitely a weird round. I was conflicted between northeast, kind of like a Massachusetts, just with the huge forest cover, and maybe a west, northwest. I ended up going Massachusetts here. Definitely seemed like way more northeast from the house than the forested road here. So 4 seconds left. Ends up being New Jersey, which surprised me a little bit. I thought it was way more New Englandy than that. He ended up a little bit closer. Guessed Connecticut there. Pretty annoyed about that. I really, some of these rounds were a little sloppy for me, but that's okay. So moving on to the next one. Had a pretty good lead here, 2,000 points. But this round definitely threw a wrench in my thinking. My mind was saying vaguely southern. It could be like a Tennessee, but like something about it being a little bit too open hinted a little bit northern to me. I think I end up going for Pennsylvania or Illinois. Okay, but yeah, it actually did end up being Kentucky. I don't know. That one was really tough. In hindsight, Illinois probably the wrong intuition there, it being way too hilly there. But hey, Partee ended up really close there, so I gotta hand it to him. Cool. So we get a Pennsylvania state highway sign, which was very helpful. 512. I was just looking for a town or something. I didn't know where 512 would even be. I did notice the New Jersey plate, so I was thinking maybe closer to New Jersey side. And yeah, I end up guessing. I think I was there. I might have been a little closer to Philly or Allentown. Yeah. But cool. So it was yeah, a little further north, but I ended up closer than Partee. Pretty happy with that. Mount Bethel, okay. But yeah, so this round here, I was very clued in right away. This was either Berkshire County, Massachusetts, or Vermont. I knew this right off the bat. So I ended up leaning a little bit Massachusetts there and went for that. This ended up being Vermont, so right in the heart of Vermont. And that ended up doing it for me. So I actually was down after that Kentucky round. He had a really good one, but I took back the lead with that Vermont guess. That was definitely something like I've driven down roads like that a lot, so it looked very familiar to me. And yeah, so I ended up with just beating out Partee, so I went 1-1 on the week. And we'll go check out the final standings in just a second. Alright, so this is how it ended up playing out. As you can see, I just snuck in as the 12th seed here. Really, really happy with that. It was very close, and it ended up that Partee jumped down after beating him there, and then he lost his next match. I had the tiebreaker over him. I had a tiebreaker over Solar Sensei and Wii Super, so I ended up ahead of those guys as well. So really happy with how that turned out. I just snuck into the playoffs, so hey, that was my goal, Matt. I just wanted to make the playoffs. We'll see what I can do in the playoffs. I have a tough first match. I'm pretty sure, I'll have to double check, but I'm pretty sure I'm playing against Stupid Drew first match because he's the 1 seed and I'm 12. But I did actually beat Stupid Drew earlier on in the season. Let me find this. He is 14-1, and I gave him his only loss. So I was very happy about doing that. Once I realized that he was going to be at the top, that gave me a little bit of confidence. So, you know what? If I beat him earlier in the season, I don't see why I can't do it again. So let's see how this goes. I'm definitely really excited for it. It could go either way. Well, actually, it probably can't go either way. He's probably going to destroy me. But hey, I beat him earlier in the season, so let's see it again. So I'll hit the divisional ones. The Eastern Division was pretty interesting. Like 4 teams got in every division. I was in the Heartland Division, and yeah, KP edged out above me, but I ended up beating Partee and Snoopy. So yeah, this has been a really fun regular season. Really enjoyed doing this so far. The Duels League is so much fun. Definitely, if you're not in it this season, try to get in the next one. But yeah, so if the playoffs go well, you might see another video from this. If I ended up losing, I probably would not upload. I will not lie. But awesome. So hey, thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, picked up something, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.